All right. Yes, I was on Canva, as you can tell. Um, I was putting that together so I wouldn't have to have uh, make something that didn't quite feel right to me. Um, anyway, I would love to showcase some certain things that um I've been known to do. I'm still about wanting to uh, monetize my channel for a better reason than just. I've said it before in multiple videos about I wanted to be able to do live streams. Um, well, when I was working more steadily for McDonald's, I managed to get my hands on a desktop mic. This is how I'm able to actually do that. I've the webcam I've the webcam really isn't mine. It had belonged to my dad. He was using it for Zoom calls when he was alive. He's been dead for about 3 years, which is unfortunate. I still miss my dad uh, pretty damn badly. If everybody's wondering, okay, why is he posting so much on songwriting and all that? If he's so good at programming, I'm not real that good at programming. I'll admit it here and now. I actually need to get better about um, about programming, especially with um, Python for one. Uh, Also with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No, why are you telling me that's not right? Oh, I see. Email address. I'm trying to sign into my chat for live stream. So if you guys come in and say, "Oh, look, he's got live stream going," yeah, I've got a live stream going. Because I was going to show you some stuff, guys, um, that I actually know how to do. Of course, there's not one of us who doesn't do a little bit of gaming. There are other more serious-minded, hardcore gamers like Raxantarax, what's his face, Riker, and I just love the way he introduces his channel. Hi, this is Riker. I mean, to me, he's really damn cool in my book. I'll eventually get to where I will want to do a question and answer kind of a thing in regards to my live streams. Anyway, let's. I want to show off a couple of things in terms of ancestry because some of it I just find really cool. I know some people are like, ugh, he's going to talk about ancestry. Well, I'm sorry. I've been doing this since I was 15. I hated history. I'll admit it. I did hate history. Badly. With a passion. Okay, why don't we... Oh. But anyway, I got a ton of trees that I've made. As you can tell, I've got a whole bunch of uh, matches there in regards to relatives that I have. I'm still very much related to my ex-wife. Yes, you heard me right. My divorce finalized. with my ex-wife, and she has gone back home to Kentucky. Um, it is what it is, and that's just what you're looking at here. Lyle's family tree is just a, this is interesting. I decided to go with start with Sid Steiner. The Steiner family had been featured briefly in a Yellowstone episode. Um, and to me, that was really cool because of the fact that, number one, I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan. Um, two, I had no idea that Taylor Sheridan had access to the Steiner family. I really didn't. Um, so it was real cool to see guys that I had gone to high school with actually in a Yellowstone episode. The Steiner family is a huge, huge rodeo family. And there are some people who actually know that. So, reason why I chose to look at Sid Steiner over his brother Tommy Shane. Tommy Shane Steiner had a pretty decent hit years ago with Maybe She's an Angel. You probably heard that on the radio quite a bit. Um, I find this family to be very interesting. My parents actually knew the Steiner brothers' parents said that their dad had been a police officer in Austin. I don't know how true that is. I know that Bob Steiner worked with his dad, Tommy Steiner. I met their grandfather, Thomas Steiner, while I was working at 7-Eleven in Austin. And in fact, when I heard that he died, I expressed my condolences to Tommy Shane. He was the one who kind of picked on me in high school. Sid was just a year older than me. So um, it wasn't Sid that picked on me so much, but it was his little brother, Tommy Shane, that did. And I get the whole point. It was to toughen me up. Sadly, that didn't take. Looking back now, I'm calling it for what it is. They just wanted to toughen me up. And it would have helped me out a lot better on how to handle myself, how to handle life. Uh, but it didn't take. So anyway, what I was wanting to show here, and I'm going to show the link that exists between the Steiners to my family. So anyway, let's get into this. So you heard me mention Sid Steiner. Rocker was in the I want to say corral. I might have the word wrong. But Rocker was in the corral on Yellowstone, and he was really having a time of his life. Either wrestling a steer, and it wasn't a huge steer, but he was wrestling, if I remember correctly. There was a brief conversation going on with Bob Steiner, Sid's dad. Of course, you could see Sid plain as day in the episode. Like I said, their grandfather, I met the man. I had served him while working at, um, while I was working at 7-Eleven. I didn't, I don't believe it was their great grandfather that I knew. I don't. I don't think it was him. Let me look at this profile picture. I can tell you better for sure. No, I didn't know. I didn't know their great grandfather. I had to look at the photo because I couldn't really remember, and I forget exactly where it's at. But I know it's a branch off the Steiners. So give me just a second. So Willits is one of the names attached. Huh. I could have. I'm gonna look at something real quick, guys, because there's something not adding up in my book. Charles F. Steiner, Nettie Blum. Okay. Seeing if my fiance had responded back to me. She's coming to live with me here on Friday, and I am so looking forward to that, guys. Eventually, her and I are going to do some things online, create content. In fact, I started earlier on creating a song for her. I've heard her sing. She's gorgeous in every which way of the word. In fact, she's got one hell of a voice. That's what I was wanting to look at. Charles Snyder, Nettie Blum. Okay. But that's what I'm trying to look at, because there is a link I am missing. Not Stu Warner. Got more options. Spouse. You're going to see how good I am at finding stuff like this. So parents, Charles Frederick Steiner, Salome Heftery. I always look for the parents. Anyway. View relationship. Nope, not through you. And here we. DNA is such a powerful thing, guys. I know nobody's in here yet. Might have to go down to their grandfather. Yeah, because their grandfather died before their great-grandfather did by a good 2 years. let's. There we go. That's my point. I'm gonna show this to you guys. That's how the Steiners are related to me, especially Sid and his brother Tommy Shane. It's through their grandfather, who I was talking about. He had married Beverly Jean Bunton. Her mom was Eva Curtis Dow. Her maternal grandfather being Orrin Curtis Dow. And look at this. This is my mom's family. Her dad, his dad's mom. Boy, I heard some stories about my great grandmother. So, seeing that this is actually part of my McCracken and Branyan, um, this will eventually post to YouTube. So even if you guys don't show up, you're going to end up seeing this, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, he's related to the Steiner family," and as well as the Branyans. This is usually cool because it just shows that one of the guys that bullied me. I need to quit saying that because he was just trying to toughen me up, like I said. But Thomas Casper Steiner is. This is Thomas Casper Steiner, his wife Beverly Jean Benton, and it says that I'm related to them through here, and through the Myers. So exactly how? No, stop that. Dow, Myers, Smith, Cress. Oh, it's to the Willets. That's why that was sounding familiar to me. Ta-da! So, Hope Willits was a son, and the brother to my great grandfather Richard Willits. They have common ancestors there. Richard Willits and Mary Washburn. So, knowing that, Martha and Hannah Willits were basically cousins to each other. Then you got first cousin once removed, second cousin. These two ladies are second cousins. Second cousin twice removed, third cousin. These two would have been third cousins. So this is why it says the husband of my 10th cousin. Beverly Jean Bunton, when she was alive, she would have been my 10th cousin. Straight, because and that's kind of funny seeing that. I could actually just go to Sid Steiner at this point, knowing that, because I believe I had put all that information in there. Nope. I'm gonna have to look, guys, here in a moment. Stop. Jeez Louise. So I did put them in there. Okay. Robert Lee Steiner. That's the Steiner brothers. Father. So I go down to Sid Steiner. This is where it gets really cool, and I still notice that there's nobody in my live stream just yet. I'm cool with it for right now. But look at what this says about my own cousin who had been in the episode of Yellowstone alongside his dad and his own son, Sid Steiner, says that he's a 10th cousin twice removed. DNA doesn't lie, guys. It does not, because I could show you other people that I'm related to, um, and it just gets insane seeing stuff like this. But this is stuff that has always interested me, and what is hugely funny about seeing this connection, especially to the Steiners, they're a rodeo family. Well, my mom, who is still very much alive, she was growing up with parents that farmed. Both my parents were farmers. Um, that family was a huge farming family, going back quite some time before they even came over to America. I find it hugely interesting. I find it highly fascinating. William Branyan is definitely would be a cousin to uh, Tommy Shane as well as to Sid Steiner. Apparently, he was born in Pennsylvania. William Branyan was. So, where when did they come over to America? That's my question. This is why I find this stuff interesting anymore. I really do. So Lewis, New York, then over to Pennsylvania. Still, my baby is not. Now I'm looking at one of the two brothers, since, you know. Wow. 1660, Hempstead, New York. Wow. Where, where, where were their parents from? That can't be right. It might be, but for some reason that just doesn't look right to me. Okay, there we go. So the Steiners and mine great grandparents, I would say 10th great grandparents, uh, they came from England. They got married in Hempstead, Nassau, New York. I don't know how really to say the county name for where Hempstead. Yep. For my great grandfather, it just says straight England. And for his wife, Mary Washburn, she was born in Benchworth, Wor- Worcestershire, England. I always have to remind myself how to say that. Some people like to say Worcestershire or Worcestershire. Um, I don't know. What was that? Was that my girl? Yes, she finally responded. Give me a second, guys. Letting her know I am on YouTube. but not on phone. But this is one of the few things that I enjoy doing um, on in regards to things I enjoy doing. I could show you guys another couple of people that I am related to that I find just hugely fascinating. Um, Come on, I said close out. Thank you. But there you go. How I'm connected to the Steiner family. Um, there are a ton. There are just tons and tons of I mean, look at this. Even Depp here. Mm, Johnny Depp and I do have a connection. Oh yes, his mom. I doubt I would have liked Johnny Depp's mom very much either. I'm just saying. Reason why I find this really cool, especially about great. Now that I do have to subscribe to get additional information. Uh, that that really burns my britches. So this would be a good reason why it would just be better if I was. This would be one of those reasons why to um, why to be monetized on YouTube, so I can afford to show everybody really cool and neat information. Because really and truly, if I'm not making money, especially doing this, what's the point of doing this? But at $40 a month, auto renews. Could easily just do U.S. Discovery, but reason why I would do World Explorer is you just don't know where everybody comes from. In regards to my dad's family, my dad's paternal line goes straight back to Norway, Scandinavia, Denmark, and Sweden. It's just cool to me. It really is. Um, so I'm gonna close out of all that. I'm not using that side of that. Oh, but the fact that I have to subscribe to get that information now, that just that floors me. Anyway, here we go. Um, at one point in time, Johnny Depp had been married to Vanessa Paradis, and they've got a couple of kids together. But I mainly relate to Johnny Depp through his dad, uh, and then through his grandmother, her father, over to another lady again. Martha Sanders had married into the Grinsteads, who married into the Depp family. But look at this. This gets really cool. I'm gonna show this in a minute to really let this sink in about how much of a distant cousin Johnny Depp is to me. This is one of the very first Knuckles that is in my family. It's really cool information in my book. But Mary Woody Knuckles is the daughter of William Knight Knuckles, Elizabeth Woody. If I had that subscription, I could show her who her parents are. William Knight Knuckles' parents are William Knuckles and Sarah. I couldn't find her last name by any means. William's parents, James C. Knuckles the second, Susanna Pouncey, and that's where that gets real interesting with the Pouncey and Knuckles family. At this note, I could easily jump over onto my ancestry and show exactly how much of a distant cousin that I want to learn more depth. Let's do that way. Waiting on a friend of mine to show back up. I had sent him a music file that I had started working on. I was hoping to learn more depth. And I don't mean to be yawning so much. Again, it doesn't really matter because nobody's on my live stream yet. It's still a bit early. And again, over to after I get his birth year in. Violet Grinstead. And there we go. Orlar Moore Depp Sr. married Violet Maddie Grinstead. Effie Palmore. I don't know if I have that information. Yeah, I do. Effie American Palmore. He was a handsome looking man. Let's take a look at Johnny Depp's grandfather. He was a very, very good looking man. I see where Johnny Depp gets his looks from. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me that. What's going on there? This is why half the time I hate when this stuff happens. I know eventually, as people get home from work, they'll be like, oh, he's hosting a live stream. Yes, I am. And I'm planning on staying on here for as long as I can. Until my cat bugs me for dinner and when I'm hungry for it. Because I like showing this stuff. I honestly do. So, Violet, Maddie Grinstead. Well, why does that keep happening? It shouldn't be happening. it needs to just stay on this one since I'm using the other browser for this. So James Christopher Depp. Oh, I see. Those are the siblings too. Johnny Depp's dad that had passed away. Well, that's a shame. So that means that Johnny Depp's dad is still very much alive. But if we come over here to like Orrin Larry Depp Jr., he would have been um, he would have been the second Orrin Larimore Depp. So he just did not have any children whatsoever with anybody. That's unfortunate. Oh wow. So that so wait, I'm related two ways to Johnny Depp. Son of a buck. Very much so. One, he had the son of Orrin Larimore Depp Senior married a lady who is a distant cousin to my dad because it says she's a sixth cousin once removed. And if I go to his dad, it's going to say something completely different because of his wife. And you're going to see that right there. So, that just goes to show you just how small this world is. So Johnny Depp is a cousin a couple of ways, both through my mom's family, especially our Knuckles family. If you noticed when I was showing uh, Johnny Johnny Depp's Knuckles family, and saying, this gets interesting about the Knuckles. There we go, James Knuckles to Susanna Pouncey, and that gets funny with the Pouncey family. Um, there and this is gonna, if everybody remembers where uh, Johnny Depp had portrayed a Native American, Tonto. Give me a second. I do want to stay on long enough to see some of my viewers pop up. I'm just talking to a friend of mine. But this gets interesting. I had mentioned that Johnny Depp had been Tonto. This would be he would be Susanna Pouncey's. You're not gonna come up with his spouse, really? Oh, anyway, it gets super interesting in my book. There we go. Isabel Page says that she is a Yapam. and it says, there were a couple of spouses there. Anyway, Susanna Pouncey, 1622, 1675. Yep. Uh, See, this is what I find so bizarre. Susanna Pouncey should actually be up here with her other brothers because she is Isabel Page's daughter. Um, that kind of upsets me to see her separated. I guess they're saying they don't know for sure. But Yapam Isabel Page, she would have been full blooded Yapam Indian from North Carolina, and that's a good 9 generations off from me. So for Johnny Depp and I to have the same great grandparents, to me that floored me, and I thought it was insanely cool too. Told me everything. I don't smile anything like him, but I find the connection to him really cool. But I will go this route, and you guys are gonna love me for this. I gotta show you guys. Let me make sure. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. I wanted to keep this here. I wish this would quit doing what it does. Um, Go back to Ancestry here. I keep thinking I see my cat, that's why I keep looking over. For once, I'm going to actually show, if everybody wants to know about this later, it's a little funny. Create and manage. Think I did fixed. Yes, some people are going to be seeing certain names here, like Drummond family, Dockery, Deschanel, Depp for sure, Dave Grohl, Cummings, Crouch, Cox, Costner. Kevin Costner is definitely a distant cousin. I did the Chandler family for a very good reason. Come to find out, a friend of mine who is also a pastor is also a distant cousin too. Still keeping my. If anybody wonders who Bub Miller is, I have a connection still to my ex-wife. Bub Miller would be my ex-wife's stepbrother. Him and I both have a connection to Blake Shelton through his mom, Laura Shelton. And she's into drugs badly. No account. He's not no account. It's just his mom is. Anyway, there we go. Garner's the one that I wanted. Lyle's. There's mine. So I'll pull that up if I can't find what I'm looking for. If I got rid of it just because of a lousy marriage. But yeah. I even did one on Blake Shelton. Just to show. Also the Underwood, that would mean Carrie Underwood. Richie Valens, he was a distant cousin. Carrie Underwood's a distant cousin. Um, Not trying to name drop. I'm not. But this is funny. To me, this is so funny. Here's my family tree yet again, and it's still pulling that garbage when I'm barely clicking on it. There we go. Okay, so we see Jennifer Ann Garner, her parents, grandparents, great grandparents, second great grandparents. We're gonna get there because I gotta show you guys this. To me, this is just cool, and I kept thinking to myself, wait, I've seen this last name before. One, in my Curry family, there is a tie to the Garners. Again, straight off my Lyles, look at that. Garner, Curry, same names showing up again. And it's like, what's going on here? So, Charlotte Ann Curry, um, sorry guys, you guys end up on chatting with my soon-to-be wife. It's just interesting to me, guys. So I'm showing you guys my my ancestry there. Um, here's here's Jennifer Garner's ancestry. Her family goes pretty much to Thomas Garner, Mary Bushnell, and this is just straight through her dad's paternal. Seeing what is going on, I heard my. Where'd you go? Where did you go? You went down to the farm. No, I wasn't clicking you. I'm. If everybody's wondering what I'm trying to do, I keep trying to get movies that I actually own to uh, be burned to. Anyway, Jennifer Garner's family, through her dad, all the way back through her dad, to Thomas Garner, Mary Bushnell. Well, almost the same thing. Look at this. Thomas Garner, Mary Bushnell. Yeah, but it comes this way to my Curry family, who married straight into my Lyles. Um, if I show you again my Lyles family, guess what you find? Let's go. Margaret Garner here. Thomas Garner, Mary Bushnell. So doesn't matter which side of my dad's family you go to. It really doesn't. Thomas Garner, Mary Bushnell, James Fraser Garner. But over here, when you do that same thing, James Garner. Okay, let's see if that is the same James Garner there. Nope. Birth date and death date are totally different. So it's two. So I've got two ancestors with the same great with the same parents who split down. So basically, George Washington Lyles and Charlotte Ann Curry would be distant cousins to each other because they both have ties to the Garner family. And you come over here to Jennifer Garner's great grandparents. Lo and behold, same great grandparents that I have with her. Because it literally dawned on me, why does Garner sound so familiar? Why does Garner sound so familiar? And I've loved her films, guys. I love her films. I honestly do. So, three brothers, but one goes straight to Jennifer Garner. The other two go to my dad's families, the Lyles and also the Currys. And I just find that hugely fascinating. I really do. So that's what I wanted to show there. It just shows, really and truly small world on that. I don't want to. No, this is what I find interesting. Blake Shelton. And I forget exactly how I'm related to him. So we'll have to go to Family Search over here again. Dalphie Shelton. And here's the thing, guys. I really don't like name dropping, but I'm only doing it to show. Dalphie Shelton, 1903. He was married. This is the last one I'm showing because it just gets weird. Ruby Mead. And yes, I've known how to do this for quite a while because this is exactly how I used to use Family Search all the time, just alone, and somewhere along the way, Ancestry.com hugely took off, and so Dalphie Tollison Shelton and Ruby Lamb Mead. These are Blake Shelton's grandparents. And I'll show Blake Tollison Shelton, Richard Lee Shelton. These are his parents, his grandparents, all his great grandparents. Come down here. Scroll on down if it'll let me. When it'll let me. Good. This gets easier. Because Richard Lee Shelton is Blake Shelton's father. Guess who doesn't show up? Blake Shelton. Dorothy Ann Bristol. So, uh, same name, just different last name. So the last name would have been Shackelford. 1936, 2019. I'm just looking at this to make sure it is pretty much Dorothy Ann Bristol. That is so weird. I get told one thing. So she died in 1988. I'm leaving it alone for right now. So, like I said, again, I'm still talking to my fiance. So, anyway, ninth cousin twice removed. So, that means the reason apply for the twice removed. Oh, straight to my. Huh. That means Blake Shelton has somewhat of a tie also to the Steiner family. In a sense of the word. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, Spencer, really? We're going to go there. I gotta see this, guys. Hannah Spencer. What Spencer do we know? I gotta see this. This is weird to me. This is the first time I've seen this, and it makes me wonder. Um, is there a tie from my great grandmother and Blake Shelton's great grandmother over to Diana Spencer? So, like I said, I'm gonna stay on here a bit longer, but damn it, sometimes this stuff really irritates me, especially when wanna when I'm trying to work on something, especially like this, and it just it's like it opens up new browsers when I don't want it to. I find it highly infuriating. But anyway, I find that really cool. Even though half the time this stuff really makes me angry. It means I'm gonna have to go back and add this right back to over here. Just really irritates me to no end. But yeah, so I might have to end my life because I keep getting nailed by my wife. So from what that looked like, Blake Shelton is attached to my short family. To Hannah Spencer. Hold on, guys. I know nobody's still yet not yet here, but you guys will all see that. Eventually, I imagine I'll see streams. Anyway, I've just wanted to show that in terms of Blake Shelton, that you just never know who you're related to. Anyway, the things I do for love, the things I do for love. When everybody sees who my wife is, everybody's gonna be all, what? But that's not the only thing I've got. That, uh, that's not just the only thing I've got. Um, Honestly, and I'm gonna show because you know. Oh, it's still running. Okay, good. But I'm doing all this to show exactly what all I have. I built this up over time, I still have a few movies that I'm wanting to burn to disc, so that way I don't have to use a DVD player, Blu-ray player anymore. But the same movies that I'm about to show you are also on the cloud. I've got things saved, but it's the same list. It's just a little bit different. But I'm showing this to you guys. I was very economical in how I did all this because I really don't have this kind of money to just do 1,527 movies. I borrowed from my local library and just burned them into my computer using both Handbrake, Handbrake, and Make 'em KV. And it looks like it's not gonna work. Unfortunately. We'll see if it works. But aside from that, yes, I'm getting tired. But I really want to show this off. I can also do music stuff. But this is what I was using earlier to start with my music creation as of tonight. Um, I hope my friend is okay. He is tend to known to get sick and to she n- hold on, hold on 1 second before this starts blowing up. I'll admit this, guys. When she wants a story, So there was this princess, daughter of a king and queen, and the king and queen had no idea she was born with magical powers. So this little princess, she grew up with the best magical tutors that a princess could get, and she learned how to harness her powers for good. Until one day, an evil sorceress entered their lives, uh, took the little girl for her own, taught her the dark ways, and it confused the little girl because she was so pure of heart and she didn't want to do the wrong thing, so she ran from the evil sorceress. But she couldn't find her way back home. She got lost. She got scared, and she got angry. So she didn't realize what she was doing. She started a fire, which burned the forest around her. It didn't kill her, but it scared her even more. Until a prince close by on his mounted steed realized what was going on. And he was able to put the fire out. He spoke sweetly to her, calmed her down, and she just fell in love with him. Realized that he was a good match for her. And he helped her find her way home. Little did they know that evil sorceress was actually watching them through a crystal ball. So she hunts them down, she separates them with her evil horde, but the prince fights back and he overcomes the evil sorceress, the evil queen. And he rescues the princess from almost dying, and he takes her back to her home where they get married. And that is pretty much your story. Um, Probably not the best story ever told. Probably not going to be the worst one I ever tell. But that's your story, my love. I thought I'd do something nice for the woman who's going to end up being my wife. Um, so, anyway, I knew what I was going to try to do until she asked for a story. I'm not the best storyteller. I would rather have a bachelor's degree in software engineering, software programming, because there's so much I'm wanting to do. But, you know, I do have an Xbox game controller, and I'm gonna show this off in a moment. I had fixed everything up so I could do what I needed, and here we go. They're gonna get horrendously. Oh, good, I did not plug the wrong thing there. everything is sort of tangled yet again. Like I wanted it all to be tangled yet again. There we go. Give me 1 second, guys. But this is what I wanted to show you guys. You ever hear me say I don't need to buy a console? This is why. Nintendo DS, Nintendo Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Game Boy Color, Sega Game Gear, Sony PSP. And then all the consoles from way back when I was a kid, all the way up to Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So I was wrong. I thought I had up to the PlayStation 3. It's up to PlayStation 2. I mainly did that because there are a ton of games I just love, that I would love to be able to play when I want to. One of my favorite games will always be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But so I just wanted to be able to play what I want to when I want to. Um, guys, I'm gonna have to go. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to be on. Uh, Maybe I'll come back and host another live stream right around 6. I really want to spend some time talking to my wife, the woman who will be my wife. She is the love of my life. She's going to be moving in with me come Friday. She will end up on live streams with me. We're going to be doing some content together, and I just can't wait to do that because I literally have given her a track that I started working on earlier, and I know there's something I gotta fix in regards to fixing that up. I'm gonna keep working on my music, trying to get that done right because I literally have an account with DistroKid, and for X amount, I can get my music pushed to Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, and receive the royalties that I need. So, guys, have a nice night. It's not that I'm not trying to look at my camera. I don't mean to keep turning my head. Um, I know there's a proper way and etiquette of handling things. So, guys, just have a lovely night and chat with you all soon. I'm just grabbing my phone. So everybody, enjoy this live stream, and um, if I'm feeling up to having another live stream, I will definitely be back. Hope you enjoyed the first live stream that I did.